The human body, the human organism, the human nervous system is amazing. It's fantastic. We've, as a species, survived for hundreds of thousands of years. It's pretty miraculous. And we've managed to do that because our bodies are perfectly designed to allow us to survive. So when we experience anxiety and obsessions and compulsions, it's easy to think that it's some sort of malfunction, that there's something wrong with us. But actually, it's not so much that there's something wrong with us, it's just a misunderstanding of a very natural and a very useful mechanism that's built into the human organism. So there's a structure in the brain called the amygdala. It's part of the limbic system, and it's one of the structures of the brain that has been most studied by scientists. And what they have found is that the amygdala has a strong affinity for emotion and for memory. And specifically, it tends to have a lot to do with traumatic memories. Now, in order to understand how this relates to obsessions and compulsions and anxiety, I'll explain briefly that there's two types of memories that get stored. One is called implicit memory, and the other is explicit memories. Now, explicit memories are the sorts of personal narratives. They're episodic, things that you can remember, where you remember that this happened and then that happened and this person said that and there was that thing over there and so forth and so on. Implicit memories are memories for which we have no conscious recall. However, that doesn't mean that we don't recall these things. We do recall them, just not at a conscious level. Implicit memories make up the overwhelming majority of memories, and they're very important for the way that we function. In fact, most of what you do in life is formed and shaped by implicit memory. When you tie your shoe, that's implicit memory. When you speak your language, that's implicit memory. So implicit memory is a very important thing. Now here's how implicit memory and the amygdala come together. So when something happens that, for one reason or another, your body or you decide is overwhelming in some way, usually in a sort of unpleasant way, then it tends to get stored as an implicit memory. Now, even if you have some explicit recall of the event, there are oftentimes going to be elements of that that are stored in implicit fashion. And so what will happen is that you can encounter a thing in your life. It doesn't matter what it is, but it can trigger that implicit memory. And so the same feelings will come up that came up when the original memory was formed. So if, for example, a certain color provokes the recall of an implicit memory, then you may feel panic or stress as a result, and you don't even know why. So all of this is to say that much of the panic and anxiety and the obsessions aren't really your fault. You've just been trying to solve them in the wrong way. They're actually part of a very useful mechanism and function within the human nervous system. They have evolved in order to help you survive, because it's too slow. Your conscious thought is too slow oftentimes to keep you out of danger. But if you can remember implicitly, without having to consciously think about it, you can help yourself stay out of a lot of danger. So if you're walking across the road and a car is bearing down on you, you don't have to think, oh, that's a car might hit me, that might hurt, I better get out of the way. How do I get out of the way? Should I go right or left? Should I go forward or backwards? Should I jump? Should I run? Should I walk slowly? You don't have to think any of those things. Your body just takes over. You remember something from the past implicitly, and your body responds appropriately with all the stress chemicals and hormones that propel you out of the way of that vehicle, and you think about it afterward. Speaking of which, there's a car coming right now, so we'll wait for the car to go by.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice roads.
All right.